What's up, magical family? It's Unique Divination, and you're tuned in to Urban Mystic TV. This video is going to be about, let me fix myself here. This video is going to be about how to create an altar. All right, I've been getting this question a lot from people, and there are so many ways to create an altar, but I'm going to give you my perspective and on how to clear an altar. How to create an altar, I'm sorry. So, altars are going to vary depending on your religious background, your spiritual background, your culture, and just your overall knowledge and your personal preference of what you want on your altar, right? So make sure you understand that. What I'm saying is not absolute. There are so many ways to create an altar, like I said, depending on your religion, background, culture, all right? So ultimately, the first thing that you want to do to create an altar is to have a space for your altar, right? You need to know where you're going to set up your altar. My altar is on a wooden chest, and it sits in my bedroom. It's a very big part of my room. I put a lot of things on there, and I also do work for clients on my altar. But definitely, you want to clear the space. You want to dedicate that space to the altar. You can clear the energy with sage or incense. Kind of make it a ceremony. And you can even verbally say, you know, I clear this space, whatever. You can visualize the space being cleared, whatever technique you want to use for clearing your space. The next thing you want to do is select sacred items. These items can be different, again, depending on your background. I know the pagan community, they like to have the elements on the altar: water, air, earth, and spirit. And they use that, you know, you could put dirt on the altar. You can symbolize, you know, by putting a cup of water. I have a cup of water on my altar. I also have a statue of Lord Ganesha because I like working with that deity. I have a pharaoh kind of little statue on there. And then I have an African woman or a colored person with, you know, a basket on her head. It's symbolic for that feminine energy. And the pharaoh statue to me is for masculine energy. I have a lot of crystals on my altar. I just have a lot of personal knickknacks. I have a magic wand. I have 2 wands, as a matter of fact. I have sigils on my altar. I have a lot of personable things. I have incense. Like I said, I have crystals. So these are just items that I have placed on my altar that are sacred to me. And so things may be different for you. What do you hold sacred? You go ahead and apply that to your altar. The last thing you want to do is set it up. Arrange the way how you've got it arranged. Sit in front of the space and just relax and just get in tune. And, you know, you can pretty much feel where you want to place things on your altar. Also, you can put fruit. If you wanted to give offerings to any of the deities that you have on your altar, you can put offerings on there. Candles, flowers. I know in the summertime, I keep a lot of flowers on my altar. I actually also have a small plant on my altar as well. So these are just some small things that you can put on an altar to start off. If you belong to any type of order, like Amorc, you're a Freemason, you can add something from that aspect on your altar. Also, ancestor altar, depending on what your background is, you can either have it on your altar, which is basically just pictures of relatives that have passed away, right? And you can have them on your altar. You can leave them offerings of things that they liked when they were alive. Some people prefer to have their ancestor altar separate from their regular altar. I'm not even up here to discuss that. That is truly up to you. I am a chaos magician, so I really don't abide by traditional things most of the time. I have my Nana on my altar, and I have my great-grandmother's one of her cups that she had when she was alive. So I've included one of my ancestors on my altar. It's not separate. Also, there are people that may not be able to create an altar or a space for an altar because of where they live. Maybe their family does not agree with what they're doing. You can make an altar with a shoebox. You can have break it down, keep all the contents in the shoebox, pull it out when you need, set it up, and then put it back in the shoebox. Or any other little box or container that you want to keep these items in. So don't think that you have to have an altar that's like permanent. You can have a breakdown altar that you can put up, hide it, put it in your closet, under your bed. Like I said, if you have people in your space, in your life that just are not going to allow or just really don't agree with what you're doing. Most of the time this happens because people don't understand. They think people that have altars, and this is just in the Western society, because in the Eastern society, I know the Asian culture, they worship their ancestors. And if you go in their house, I've seen a lot of documentaries where you go in, these people's houses and they have their ancestors up. They have shrines up for them. A lot of the Eastern culture includes their ancestors in their everyday lives. And I think that's something that the Western culture really needs to hold on to. So this is how you create an altar. It's just my way. It's not a set way. There are so many ways to create an altar. There are so many different altars, but I just kind of wanted to give you a general basis, a fundamental basis of where to move from there. Okay, so comment, let me know what you guys got going on. Do you have an altar? What do you have on there? How did you set it up? Are you able to have an altar where you live at? If not, do you have a makeshift altar, a breakdown altar, right? Where do you keep it, and why, if that's the case, do you have to have the breakdown altar? Is it the family? Is it the significant other? Talk to me. Let me know what's going on, okay? So thank you for tuning in. As always, don't forget to like the video and don't forget to subscribe if you're watching this video and you have not subscribed to my channel. All right, until next time, people, I will get at you later.